my favorite band of all time, Pearl Jam. What an iconic band. And I found this article right here called Versus. I gotta say, 10 is untouchable, but this is right up there with 10. I classify this album not less than 10, right up there, equally as good. I think it was one of the most anticipated albums and one of the most well-sold follow-up albums of a rock band when it came out. I remember reading that. Let's dive into this, what it has to say. Released October 19th, 1993. Can you believe that already? Me, like a lot of people, were so excited for this to come out. Obviously 10, for me personally, it definitely changed my life. The reason how it happened is that obviously Alive came out and I was really drawn to that song. Not only Eddie Vedder's voice, but that Mike McCready incredible solo at the end. Now, don't forget, that was after all the shredders and all the glam metal stuff. You saw this movement happening, and Alive couldn't come at a better time. Now, I couldn't really relate with the hair metal bands and the shredding. I was just getting into learning guitar, and I couldn't really replicate what they did. Not that I can replicate what Mike McCready did, but it was just a completely different vibe in terms of the type of music, the type of lyrics, the type of beats as well. A lot of the glam metal beats were kind of like a 4/4 beat, pretty standard beat, whether it's just a little slower, a little faster. But when grunge came along and that whole early 90s movement came along with Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Screaming Trees, Mudhoney, Melvins, I can go on. You started to hear interesting beats. Whoa, this is not... As a guitar player in lines, whoa, I couldn't really keep up with these beats, especially Soundgarden when they released a lot of the off-time beats, like the 7/8, the just off-rhythm beats, was super interesting to the ear. And Pearl Jam, they weren't as extreme as Soundgarden with all the off-time stuff, but they definitely had different drum beats that you really didn't hear from the typical hair metal bands, and they completely wrote me in. I remember the DJ at one of the radio stations in Montreal when I was living back then made a mistake. DJ said that next song up, Pearl Jam's Alive. The single came out not too long before that, but the DJ fucked up and played Why Go. Officially was not a single at the time, but I don't know what happened. Instead of Alive, the DJ played Why Go, and it's actually, when I heard Why Go, that was a clincher, because Alive was awesome. I really dug it, but was curious to see, if the album sounded anything like that or not. But when they played Why Go and when that opening drum beat came on, man, I was completely hooked. I think I went the next day to go and get that album. I'm dating myself, but that cassette, and man, haven't looked back since.